Welcome back to Biz Asia America. In Israel, potential homeowners may soon find buying a home more difficult. The country's central bank now will require banks to hold more capital against the loans they issue. The move will make loans more expensive, and it's thought harder to get. Mr. Roee Ruttenberg has more.
51-year-old Tali Shelef is hoping to move to Tel Aviv and has the money to do so. This flat she's looking at cost nearly $12,000 per square meter.
Let's
tell the truth. It's not for a young couple. That has to take out serious loans. It's more for people who have private homes, who have a base, who can allow themselves to buy here.
But soaring prices have priced out most Israelis. The Bank of Israel fears it's not sustainable. Worried that a potential crash will take the country's conservative banks down with it, the central bank has changed lending regulations. Banks will now need to set aside 50% in capital instead of 35% on mortgages covering 45 to 60% of property value. Meanwhile, loans covering more than 75% of property value will require banks to set aside 60% in capital. Essentially, that means less money the banks can give out. The central bank believes the changes will lower the demand and with it the prices. But with the supply being as limited as it is, that's not guaranteed. And in the short term, those most likely to be affected may be the people who most need the banks in the first place.
I bought a house recently. I am 45 years old. It took me 25 years to get to it, and now I have a mortgage until the age of 72. So
it's clear that the biggest burden will be on young couples, those who don't have many means, and it makes it harder for them to acquire apartments, new apartments in Israel.
In the last 5 years, while salaries have remained stagnant, home prices jumped 40%. And it appears the government hasn't forgotten the so-called social justice protests, then over rental prices that drove Israelis to the streets en masse in recent years.
The people will go to the streets again, and then it will be maybe solved. I think the banks will lose a lot, and I hope they will fall.
And that's exactly what Israel's institutions and well-established Israelis are hoping to avoid. Roee Ruttenberg, CCTV in Tel Aviv.